Good morning everybody, it's Mike from PC Classic Cars back with another test drive video. Today we are in a 1968 Ford Mustang Coupe, the 289 and an automatic transmission. Alright, so again we have a 68 Ford Mustang Coupe. This is a C-code car, has a 289 stock style motor in it. I believe it to be the original motor. Difficult to 100% say it's the numbers matching motors. You can't really find a VIN on that, on the motor anywhere. A lot of the early Ford stuff like that, it's really hard to 100% say, but the date code is correct, and all signs line up to it being the original motor. It's definitely been gone through at some point, runs extremely well. Backed by a C4 3-speed automatic transmission, which shifts nice and positive. Cruises really well. My guess is it's probably had a little bit of a upgrade on the rear end as far as the gear ratio goes. It's not really a 70-mile-an-hour car. It's really good, about 55, 60, 65 miles an hour. It's comfortable as well, but it's not a 75, 80-mile-an-hour car. You're going to start turning some RPMs at that point. Other options the car has, it does have power steering. It is manual drum brakes, but they are lined out and the vehicle does stop nice and straight. On your exhaust, you have stock style manifolds, dual exhaust, aftermarket style mufflers. Sounds good going down the road. No real drone or any issues with sound. It's not too loud. It has that good muscle car sound to it, but it's not a crazy loud exhaust system where you can't have a conversation with the person sitting next to you. The drivability is fantastic. It's a well ironed out car. We have a large folder of receipts, and there's also a photo album of when the car was redone. From the folder of receipts, it looks like some of the work on the car was done in the 2003, 4, 5 range, and then most of the work was done in like 2010, 11, and 12. Good quality work front to back. Again, the mechanicals are ironed out well. It is a factory AC car, and the AC does blow nice and cold. The heat also blows hot. And again, your drivability, like I mentioned before, it's a really easy car to drive, and it's a fun Mustang to drive. It's hard to not like a first generation body style Mustang. I guess technically it would be second generation because you have your 64 and a half, 65, 66, and then they changed it to a more aggressive look in 67 and 68. So however you want to say that, but a good early Mustang, and runs and drives fantastic. On your interior, your factory red interior, everything's in nice shape. The carpet's a little bit older, but there's no torn spots or worn spots. The carpet shows nice. It's got nice mats in it. Kick panels have a few little scuffs down low. Dash pad, if they redid it, it was redone a while ago. There's a couple tiny little nicks in the dash pad, but it's minimal at best. Door panels have a little bit of wear from like if your arm was hanging out the window on both sides. Just minimal stuff, but overall the interior is very clean. The seats feel good. It's a comfortable car to ride in. Back seat is nice. The package tray also looks good. Headliner doesn't have any issues, and that looks like it's recently been replaced. The visors are also really clean and nice. It does have a dome lens. That's in good shape. All of your gauges are super easy to read. As far as your doesn't work section, a couple small things not working. The biggest one being the fuel gauge is not reading, so it's most likely going to need a new sending unit in the tank. The speedometer works, but it's not 100% accurate. I think our note said it was like 10 to 15 miles an hour off, depending on the speed that you're going. That's a really easy fix. You have your speedo cable that goes from the back of the speedo head. The little cable goes down to the side of the transmission, and it screws into the side of the transmission. You literally just got to unscrew it, take the little plastic gear out, put the right one in there, and screw it back in, and then your speedometer would be accurate. Most likely due to the wheel and tire swap on the car, it throws the speedometer off. The wheels and tires are basically a brand new Torque Thrust D. They're 15s. I will say, if you get 2 or more people in the car under full lock, if you're turning like on an incline, and you have, again, a bunch of people in here, the front tires might rub just a little bit, but it's minimal at best. The underneath of this Mustang is very solid. The only metalwork I found is the very, very rear floor pans, which is notorious for these. They have those little spots where, I guess, water just sits there and they get little holes. They did a small little spot on the rear floor pan. They cut it out, put a new piece of metal in, seam sealed it, and it looks excellent. Whoever did the work did it right, and it looks nice. But the rest of the floor pans, the frame rails, everything is extremely solid and original. The car came from the West Coast. I got to go back and look. It was either Arizona or Nevada where I got this car. I think it was Arizona. And just the underneath shows a very, very nice and solid car. Inside the trunk is all clean, detailed, shows nice. No problems with rust issues on the car whatsoever. Paint quality is nice. It does have a few little nicks, but overall the paint shows really well. Make sure you take a look at our additional infos tab. It shows all the imperfections, just minor stuff. Looks good down both the sides. The quality was a good quality paint job when they did it. Inside the door jambs is also really nice. Bottom sides of the doors is clean with no rust issues. The paint is uniform front to back on the car. Just again, from being most likely painted around the 2010, 2011 range, just looking at the receipts. I don't have one specifically for the paint, but just where everything else was done, and looking at the photos, the photo album that we have of the restoration work on the car, it kind of pinpoints it to that area. So you're going on maybe close to 15-year-old paint, but shows well. Paint quality is nice, and it's a good looking car. All your glass is in nice shape. You do have some little streaks in the side glass, are probably original, but no major issues on the side glass. They roll up and down like they should. The driver's side rear window does need a new regulator. It doesn't want to go all the way down, just minor stuff. Front windshield has a few small little nicks and a couple little wiper marks, but again, minimal. It's not impeding the driver whatsoever. Back glass is awesome. Suspension is all stock style equipment. Obviously, you see us going down this bumpy road and it's doing excellent. The car drives nice and straight. Wherever you point the car, that's where it's going to go. It doesn't float all over the road. It doesn't yank you left or yank you right. The brakes stop it true and straight. Suspension doesn't have any weird sounds or squeaks. Steering is really, really easy. Make sure you check out that additional infos tab. It's very important that all of our customers check that stuff out. It's got all the photos of the flaws like I mentioned. It also has a screenshot of the doesn't work section, which outlays what works and what doesn't work on the car. And then one thing I always like to tell my customers is I talk about leaks. You have your normal classic car leaks, and you have your normal, and then you have problematic leaks. Problematic leaks, you walk out to your car in the morning and it's got a giant puddle underneath it. That's going to need to be a seal. That's going to be needed to be addressed. If you get a little drip from something here or there, you could definitely go spend all the money to replace that seal or whatever's leaking. This particular car's got a couple tiny little drips. There's a small little drip. It looks like it's coming from the valve cover. And then a small little drip, like seepage, coming from the power steering. Again, minor enough that I wasn't willing to tear everything apart. You could start driving this car, it could very well seal itself back up, or again, it could develop and get worse. But again, it was minimal enough that it wasn't something that we needed to address here at my shop. I have 100 old cars at any given time, and 95 of them develop a little drip at some point. So just minor stuff. If you have questions on that, feel free to call us and we can always walk you through what our recommendations are on leaks with these old cars. It's hard to prevent them for sure, or keep it from doing it. My overall feel, this is a fantastic Mustang. I love the red on red combo. It's a excellent driving car, super solid underneath, and just a great Mustang to hop in and drive. You already have AC. It just seems like a well-sorted car. We have a ton of mechanical receipts on it. Came from the West Coast, so you're not fighting rust battles. Just a really good car if you're looking for a Mustang. You do have your hood turn signal indicators as well, and they work. As always, I appreciate y'all stopping in to watch another one of my test drives. If there's ever anything else that you want to see, have comments, concerns, questions, don't hesitate to leave a comment on my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe to get updates for all the content we're putting out daily. Check us out at PCClassicCars.com, and we'll see y'all on the next test drive video. Thanks again for watching.